Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So we have been warned that the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to be very cold, and we should expect the cold snap, and we should really prepare. Although I do understand that the cold is actually rather uncomfortable, but in its own way it's actually not the problem itself. What cold or cold issues or any other weather patterns seem to reveal or basically point out how reliant and dependent our everyday lives became. And we're talking about the comforts, we're talking about the food, we're talking about the cooking, and we're talking about the everyday house comforts. So in this video, guys, I'm not going to be fear mongering. I'm not going to be telling you to go and stockpile on the food. Today we are talking about the resilience and what we can do now and use that cold spell in our advantage. See, for some reason, people talk about the suddenly cold spell is coming. Let's prepare for the power outages and power cuts and get our backup cooking systems going. To be fair, the power cuts are not really happening that often in the cold spells. They're more likely to happen during the, say, windy weather or some other storms. Generally, the cold snaps don't create a mass power outages. What generally happens when the real cold arrives, the system slows down. Okay, the whole system, because of the deliveries, we're talking about, say, food deliveries, icy roads, lorries, say, lack of people potentially able to get to work, again, because of the road blockages with the snow or anything else, that kind of thing. At the same time as well, we're talking about more common issues, more common than the power outages. We're talking about the water pipes, be it sometimes a freezing water pipes or a burst water pipes. That means you potentially could end up without water. We're talking about, say, the boiler. Okay, if you got like ourselves, you have the oil tank outside, you have a pipes, and you've got obviously boiler inside. Again, during the cold temperatures, the pipes could freeze outside, the boiler temperature can drop, and that means you can lose yourself a heating and hot water, or in our cases, you can actually lose both. And this is really not a lot of people talking about when it comes to the preparedness and resilience. Next thing, we're talking about the human behavior. See, panic buying doesn't start with the empty shelves. Panic buying starts when there's the first glimpse of something and people assume, well, it's going to be cold and there are going to be no deliveries. And this is what creates the panic buying. Automatically, the unprepared people will then rush to the supermarket and buy everything and anything under the sun. The food hasn't left the country. The food is in the country. There's no food shortages. It's just slowing down the process. It's going to take time for lorries to get there. It's inevitable. It happens on a yearly basis. But for some reason, people seem to assume they're running out and stocking your fridge or your house full of food. It is a really good idea. See, cold weather itself, it doesn't actually create the problem. It just reveals the issues, and issues be it generally in the country and in your preparedness at home. So once they're predicting us the 2 or 3 weeks of really cold weather, and to be fair, it has been rather cold already. We experienced in South Wales here -6 during the day, and apparently it is predicted to get to the -15. So all that the good point, I will suggest you guys to make sure that you do have yourself a buffer of food. And it's generally what catches people out is the very basics and very essentials. And I'm not saying to you run out and stockpile the food, because we should be ready way past that. It's just to make sure that you are covered for your essentials. So if it does happen and people are, queuing up to stockpile, you don't have to do this. But another thing as well, I think, as I said to you guys, as a resilience, as a new push forward of trying to be resilient, try to look at that temperature, the weather, as maybe a positive thing. A thing that we could maybe experience or test out and do something better. And when I talked about the resilience before, I'm talking about resilience is really getting used to the change. And getting used to the change could be really hard. So rather than trying to deal with the situation when it's already too late and you're not prepared, so for example, if suddenly it hits -20 and you can't go outside and top up your shop, that sort of thing, and you suddenly panic because you don't know what to do because it's uncomfortable. Although it's doable, but this is uncomfortable. To me, and for me, it's going to be a good point of doing this sort of thing right now. So while it is cold, try to think of how would you want to save the, say, electricity. Not in terms of saving electricity, but it is expensive if you constantly have your boiler running. Think about batch cooking. Okay, say you cook, be it whatever, lasagna, whatever stew you want to do, you cook it once, and then you can either freeze that or just keep this in the fridge, and you can just reheat that. Because that, in terms, obviously saves electricity, saves power. Try to cook a very basic meal. Rather than sort of doing your usual whatever you normally cook, try to do something very simple, very easy, and trying to use as less electricity as possible. Again, purely just to get used to the idea that sometimes things might not be as easy as we want them to be. At the same time, I'm going to be trialing that as well. Not trialing, but I'm going to be doing that is outside, okay? Because when it's cold, generally, it's either just a little bit snowy or like we have and predicted for the next week, it's pretty much a clear sky. So go and cook outside, okay? Go outside the comfort zone and push yourself of doing that. See, I hate cold. I always get really, really cold. My body just really, really doesn't like it. But I'm going to be using that time now, the next 2 or 3 weeks of cold, as an opportunity to better myself and to test out certain things. So I will be cooking a pizza in a pizza oven outside in a cold. Okay, and again, it might sound like a stupid idea. You think, why on earth would you do that? Because, well, if you're desperate, then you can do this, at the time of desperation. But see, when we do this at the point of desperation, and this is too late, okay, we need to be mentally and physically prepared to deal with those kind of situations. So for me, yeah, I'm going to be making a pizza. It's going to be cold, but I'm going to be giving this a go. So the moral of this video is, guys, it's not about fear-mongering. It's not about the weather. It's about preparedness. But it's not about running in the shop and stockpiling, okay? Preparedness is great, absolutely. Having your food and basics, absolutely. And you should have them done already. But the bad weather is coming, and if it does get to -15, -20, there's no doubt there's going to be difficulties in the supermarkets, or you will see gaps in the shelves for certain foods. So the point is to you, as I said, if you are potentially running out of certain things, be it milk or bread, whatever, flour, whatever you do, go and get some now, okay? Make sure your house is kind of settled and you know what to expect. Make sure if you've got pipes outside for the boiler, make sure they're insulated. Do all those sort of things. And then just take this time, take this weather, the weekend, whatever, if you work or not, and use this to your advantage. And just practice your resilience in a cold. I know it might sound really daft, but trust me, cold is one of the worst enemies. And we're talking about the heating, of course, and the food. So use this to your advantage to build yourself and your family's resilience. So anyway, guys, I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget, thumbs up, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.